On today's Community Wednesday, let's talk about the M13 Blackout rounds and the M4's 458 SOCOM. Both of these weapons are excellent choices in Warzone. They're not meta, but they are pretty great. The M13 is really amazing at range, since it has no recoil and it gets a pretty good TTK. And the M4 is somewhere in between. It hits a little bit harder, but it does have a lot more recoil. But what happens when we use these conversions? Does it change up the weapon? Does it make it better? Does it make it worse? Let's find out. Let's start with the M13. Now, the M13 is a low damage, low recoil, fast fire rate assault rifle meant for long range, and it burns through ammo fast. So I have no idea why anyone would choose to use the 300 Blackout rounds, since it limits your total ammo capacity by half, increases your recoil, and all for the benefit of a few extra meters of range. And no, it definitely does not act like subsonic rounds like in Vanguard. With long range weapons, the damage drop-off range really doesn't matter, since we're going to be in the second one most of the time. A few extra meters is not going to cut it, not even for rebirth. Here's a quick recoil comparison of the M13 with Blackout ammo and the M13 with its normal 30 round mag. You can see that the M13 with Blackout ammo has a lot more jumps at the beginning, and the normal M13 has its normal smooth pattern, even when I was still in the middle of my ADS transition. So at long range, the M13 is going to need 15 bullets to down someone, and with 30 rounds, that's 50% of your shots, and no normal human has 50% accuracy, especially against a real target. With 60 rounds, that's 25% of your shots, which is a little bit easier to attain, and where a lot of us are in terms of accuracy. And it's definitely going to be a lot easier to hit with better recoil. So what's it like using an M13 with Blackout rounds? Pretty much, it's a worse version of the M13. It's going to be harder to hit your enemies, and they're also going to have enough time to run away. Because of that really fast rate of fire, you're going to be hitting those 30 rounds extremely quickly, and you're going to have to reload, which gives them time to play it up, and then you're going to have to start again. In the end, it's going to be a battle of who has more ammo and who has more plates. So for the M13, just go with the normal 60 round mag. 30 rounds is not cutting it in 300 HP mode. Now let's talk about the M4A1 and the 458 SOCOM rounds. The M4 is very easy to use. It's got low recoil, and with one headshot you can get an average TTK in both its first and second damage range. It does, however, limit its good accuracy up to around 100 meters. So what does the 458 SOCOM rounds do? It changes both damage range TTKs to green or really amazing TTKs. Shots required to down goes from 12 to 7 in the first range and 14 to 8 in the second. But that already shows you a lot. You're going to need 7 out of your 10 shots to down someone in the first and 8 out of the 10 in the second damage range. 70% and 80% accuracy is very difficult to attain, especially if you want that green TTK. So while it could work as a pretty decent CQB weapon, it's extremely risky, and I found myself running out of ammo way too much. And for long range, you can pretty much forget that. Its recoil is just way too much compared to the normal M4. However, I know that a lot of people probably want to tap fire this, so can it be used that way? If you only go for headshots, it's going to take 5 to down someone at any range. It'll have decent bullet velocity, but if you're missing those headshots, it's still going to take you quite a lot of bullets to down someone, and you're not going to be getting that TTK. It's just going to require way too many shots to down someone, and someone's probably going to steal your kill. Or worse, you're just going to alert whoever you're firing at to just take you out real quick. Seriously, at long range, you're probably better off with a normal M4, even though your hit rate is going to be a lot smaller, because all that matters is sustained fire and getting the down. So if you want a Modern Warfare weapon that's good from close to slightly medium range, try out the AS-Val. It gets a slightly faster TTK than the M4 with SOCOM rounds, and even better, it can hold 30 bullets per mag. And for long range, I'm going to say the exact same thing that I've always said about low capacity, longer TTK weapons. If you can hit those headshots and you're confident with it, and it's still going to take you over a second to down someone, just use a sniper rifle. Even with glint, you're going to be doing much better, because if you're hitting those headshots, that's an instant down. And if you don't want glint and you're fine with using a lower zoom optic, you've got plenty of options. So for these two weapons, definitely stay away from the M13 with Blackout rounds. It is not worth it, and it will definitely be hurting you, giving you nothing in return. As for the M4, yeah, it could work in solos probably. It's not the best option, but it'll at least compete up close, and at range, you can do okay. So that was the M13 with Blackout rounds and the M4 with 458 SOCOM. So have you used any of these recently, or especially after the 300 HP change? And if so, what'd you think about it? And if there's any build, weapon, or part of the game you want to break down, let me know. You may see it on the next Community Wednesday. Thanks for watching.